This week on JambarTV, we'll talk about President Johnson's plans for the presidency. Then we'll talk about Students for Justice in Palestine and their recent meeting. Then we'll talk about the men's tennis team and their hot start to the season. Welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Molly Burke.
And I'm Christopher Gillette. This week, the Jambar sat down with YSU President Bill Johnson to learn about his goals for the university.
Chris and I met Johnson at the office of the president to learn about his initiatives and what he hopes to accomplish. Here's what we learned. His first priority is to get enrollment up through fundraising with the YSU Foundation.
We've got to go to where the students are, whether that's increasing our online presence and online offerings, finding where those homeschoolers are. So you're going to see a big emphasis on how we get our enrollment figures up. And to do that, we're going to have scholarships. So that means I'm going to be doing a lot of fundraising too.
As one of his first initiatives, Johnson established a government affairs office. He said YSU has been behind when it comes to working with legislatures on finance and funding issues, but the new office will allow YSU to get ahead.
Youngstown State is kind of behind the power curve, behind the 8 ball, at the end of the food chain, if you will, on policy issues that affect the university. So one of my messages is going to be going back to Columbus to talk to our legislature and to talk to our administration there.
After discussing his goals, Johnson addressed community concerns towards his political views and the pushback against his appointment that led to a protest on his first day. YSU, shame on you! The president said he will meet with those who want to express their concerns.
I'll meet with anybody that wants to have a productive conversation about how to move YSU forward. I'm not here to fight. I'm not interested in fighting with people.
Johnson said those who want to speak with him can schedule an appointment by calling the office of the president. To read more about Johnson's goals and his feedback to the community, pick up this week's Jambar.
Right after our interview with Johnson, the president attended a meeting with Student Government Association as a featured speaker. At the meeting, Johnson answered questions from SGA executive members and representatives. The president addressed questions and concerns about recent cuts made to the Dana School of Music. He promised to advocate for the arts at YSU, but said enrollment has to increase to combat cuts.
You're going to have that commitment from me. Now, the school's a business. We're going to have to up our game if we're going to be able to fund those kinds of programs if they're not producing the graduates to pay for themselves.
Johnson also said he would help SGA with goals to combat food insecurity on campus and agreed to look into the expansion of SGA's budget.
In the president's opening speech at the SGA meeting, he also said his first academic priority is to finish construction to the new student center. However, just 2 days after the meeting, CEO of Phantom Fireworks Bruce Zoldan announced to media outlets that he will no longer be donating $5 million to the construction of the building. That is, unless the Board of Trustees rescinds the hiring of Johnson. The new student center, originally named the Zoldan Family Center, is slated to begin construction in May 2025. On the same day of Zoldan's announcement, the President and First Lady Leanne Johnson said in a press release that they are donating $100,000 towards the construction of the new center. The Jambar will continue to follow this story.
It's been almost a year since a train derailed and spilled toxic chemicals in East Palestine. I looked into how one town resident has been active following the derailment. Misty Allison is a mother and resident of East Palestine. On the night of the derailment, Allison's husband took this photo. Following the derailment, Allison became involved in activism, including testifying to the U.S. Senate. Allison said she tried to communicate to the Senate the suffering residents felt.
I just really tried to really have a lot of emotional appeal in my testimony to really make sure that people understand that this isn't a political issue, this is a people issue, and this is not a soundbite in our lives. This truly is our lives.
Allison said her activism is motivated by being a mother.
Moms will stop at nothing to protect their children, and especially in a situation like this, it is very scary. And so I think that a lot of what I have done is just trying to make sure that my kids are safe, my family is safe, and my community is safe.
Allison also sits on the Board of Trustees for the East Palestine Memorial Public Library. The library has been archiving documents around the derailment. While not personally involved with the archive, Allison said the library has done a great job with the archives.
From the very beginning, they quickly realized that this was going to be a huge part of East Palestine history, and they've done a great job collecting anything and everything.
The archives continue to document East Palestine's rich history, while the Jambar reports the news.
We now know the teams headed into the Super Bowl 58. The Kansas City Chiefs will take on the San Francisco 49ers in Las Vegas on Sunday, February 11th. The last two times these two teams faced off in the Super Bowl was in 2019 when the Chiefs won. This year's big game is already proving to be one of the most expensive. Jen Sullivan explains why prices are soaring in today's Consumer Watch.
Super Bowl 58 is set. The San Francisco 49ers taking on defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs.
At the end of the day, we want to compete. We want to go out there and win.
49er fans ecstatic following Sunday's nail-biter win over the Detroit Lions.
It was incredible. I got a little nervous in the first half.
It was awesome. Instant classic for sure.
Fan enthusiasm soaring, and so are ticket prices. As of Monday morning, the get-in price was $8,188, which is 51% more expensive than the get-in price for the Super Bowl this time last year. According to StubHub, the most expensive ticket listed is more than $85,000 and includes a VIP package. With the Super Bowl being hosted in Las Vegas, that too could drive up prices since it's a major tourist destination. And there's no denying that Taylor Swift's presence at this year's big game will also impact the prices as she cheers on her boyfriend, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
The singer has already helped break NFL viewership records. Last week's playoff game between the Chiefs and the Bills was the most watched divisional playoff game in history. Airlines are also seizing on the hype. American Airlines and United both adding special flights between Kansas City and Las Vegas with special flight numbers like 1989, a nod to the year Swift was born and her most popular album. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Well, it looks like that sun is finally shining again, and we're going to see some warmer temps this weekend.
Today is also Groundhog Day, and while we don't have Bill Murray, we do have Zonde Smith with the weather.
Looking into the weekend, we're going to have some sunnier days with a very low chance for rain. I'll have a more detailed report after the break.
Why Youngstown State University? Because when it comes to the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. I can do anything here. I know why. It's not a question, it's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of Northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us, and we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why. Why Youngstown State University? Because when it comes to the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. I can do anything here. I know why. It's not a question, it's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
Welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Zonde Smith, and this is your weekly weather outlook. Today we'll see temps at 40 degrees, and it will be partly cloudy with wind speeds at 9 miles per hour. There is a 0% chance for rain as well. At night there will be clear skies, and wind speeds will slow down to around 6 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny, and temps will reach 47 degrees. Moving into the night, the skies will be clear once again, and temps will drop to 25 degrees. We are going to finish out the weekend with a sunny 50-degree day with a 0% chance for precipitation. Temps will drop to 28 degrees in the evening. Now, let's take a look at my 4-day forecast. Today will be partly cloudy with a high of 40 degrees and a 0% chance for rain. At night, the temps will drop to 24 with a very low chance for rain. Tomorrow, temps will reach 47 degrees and it'll be mostly sunny. At night, we'll have a low of 25 degrees and the chance for rain will stay at 0%. On Sunday, we'll see a high of 50 degrees with a 0% chance for rain. Finishing the weekend out with a sunny day before moving into the week. Sunday night, we'll see temps at 28 degrees and a chance for rain at 3%. At the start of the week, temps will be up to 49 degrees. We'll see a 6% chance for rain throughout the day as well into the evening. The temp will decrease to 27 degrees at night. That's all we have for this weekend's weather outlook. Stick around because Nina Reiner will be updating us on Students for Justice in Palestine.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why. Why Youngstown State University? Because when it comes to the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. I can do anything here. I know why. It's not a question, it's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us. And we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Nina Reeder, and this is your Student Life Update. YSU's chapter of the Students for Justice in Palestine hosted an event in the Rossi Room of Kilcawley Center on January 26th. The event saw speakers talk about Palestinian history, personal experiences, and the evolution of Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The event also saw speakers from various organizations, including SJP, the Jewish Voice for Peace, and the Mahoning Valley chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America. Attendees of the event also had the opportunity to try traditional Palestinian foods and coffee. Lauren Burgess, a board member of the SJP, opened the event. Burgess said the intention of the event was to educate people.
Our intention, what we wanted to be significant in, is educating people, having people that didn't really know the entirety or maybe had some questions coming in and leaving with a better understanding. More significance would be people who already had a general understanding walking out with more specific and more updated information.
Many from YSU and beyond attended the event. The Williamson's College of Business Administration holds a biannual career fair to connect students and employers. The Meet the Employers Day will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on February 7th in the Weir Atrium of Williamson Hall. The event benefits both employers and students by providing the opportunity to network. It allows students to see what the companies offer and score internships or jobs. Meanwhile, the employers can meet YSU students and collect resumes for future job openings. The WCBA's Director for Career Management Center, Christina O'Connell, encourages students to research the companies ahead of time.
It's important that they look and handshake to see all of the employers that are coming and do just some research on the companies, especially the ones that they want to speak with and have a potential internship with or a full-time job. Employers don't expect you to know everything about them, but they also don't want to be asked, can you tell me about your company, or what does your company do?
Students can find information about the attending employers on the WCBA's Handshake page. Students may have noticed emergency buttons scattered across campus in colorful boxes and on flashing poles. These buttons are YSU's current emergency phone system for students in a crisis. Once pressed, the system sends your current location to the YSU Police Department. The department sends an officer to your location while you chat with the dispatcher. The buttons can be used for any emergency requiring police, fire, or EMS response. Sean Varso, the chief of police at YSU, said they are working with the IT department on an updated system that better reflects current technology.
So in the future, it may look like a combination of emergency phones and cell phone devices where the students have almost instantaneous contact with the police and that.
Their main goal is to get help to students efficiently and quickly as possible. They hope to have the new system rolled out within these next 2 weeks. With over 40,000 streams on Spotify and a track with 2.4 million streams, the Jacksonville, Florida-based band Honey Hounds incorporates funk, rock, pop, and soul into traditional Delta blues. The band is made up of guitarist and lead vocalist Nick Izzard, drummer Tyler Watts, bassist Nathan Raynew, and keyboardist Max Zargone. The Honey Hounds have released 2 LPs, an EP, and 12 singles, with the song Spinach being their most streamed track across all music platforms. For Watts, he looks forward to hitting new venues as the band continues to grow.
There's always a little bit of, anticipation when you go to a new market, never playing there before, to kind of see who shows out and supports and buys ticket and buys merch and all that stuff. So
with the start of 2024, Honey Hounds is currently working on a 3rd full-length album and gearing up to host its annual Honey Island Music Festival at the Dutton Island in Preserve, Atlantic Beach, Florida. The Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion will be hosting their 2nd annual Yes Gala on February 6th at Mr. Anthony's Banquet Center in Boardman. YES stands for the YSU Enrichment Summer Scholastic Institute Gala. The YES Institute provides a readiness program for first-generation, low-income, underrepresented, or marginalized students during the summer. Assistant Director for DEI, Susan Moorer, said the gala will help benefit YES throughout the year.
We're trying to raise funds just to offset the cost of the program because it's expensive to have students stay on campus for 3 weeks, to be able to take them on wonderful experiences, engaging them throughout the community and through Youngstown State. So that's the purpose of the gala.
Activities include a live band, catered dinner, and basket auction. There will also be a tribute to Carol Bennett, the former provost for the Office of DEI. Ticket sales ended on February 2nd. Moorer said that they expect over 300 attendees at the gala. That's all we have for your weekly Student Life Update, but stick around for Taziah Howard with the sports update after the break.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why. For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question, it's the answer. Youngstown State University, know why.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us. And we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Welcome back. I'm Tazai Howard, and this is your weekly sports update. In October of 2023, Cody Duncan was hired as the new head coach of the Youngstown State men's tennis team. In his first 3 games as head coach, the team is 3-0, a perfect start to the year. The team started out as the season with 3 straight wins at the YSU Indoor Tennis Center with matchups against Binghamton, Butler, and Georgetown Universities. After a 7-0 sweep of the Bearcats on January 20th, the following matchup took place on January 26th against the Bulldogs of Butler. The team lost the doubles point 1-2, but YSU swept singles matches, winning 4 of 4 matches finished. Juniors Nathan Favier and Harry Fuzas, sophomore Nishant DeBas, and freshman Ondair Balsi all picked up singles victories. In the final match of the 3-game homestand, the team took on Georgetown on January 28th. After winning the doubles points and singles victories from Balsi and junior William Rossett in 2 sets, DeBas took his opponent to the 3 sets and finished with a match off with a convincing 6-2 victory. Fuzas also picked up a victory in 3 sets, winning 10-0 in the final set, making the final score 5-2. Looking to extend their win streak, the Penguins traveled to Omaha, Nebraska for today's matchup against Creighton University at 1 p.m. The team will also compete tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. against the University of Nebraska-Omaha. You can view live stats from the matchup at eyeoncourt.com. The Youngstown State men's basketball team went on the road to defeat Indiana University, Purdue University, and then returned home to defeat the University of Northern Kentucky. Inside IUPUI's Indiana Farmers Coliseum, the Penguins won 78-50 on January 25th. Fifth-year senior DJ Burns recorded his 11th double-double of the season with 16 points and 13 rebounds. The Penguins never trailed as they were strong defensively with 10 blocks. Sophomore Emmanuel Zorkpool recorded career-high 5 blocks. This victory marked the 6th time since joining the Horizon League that the YSU basketball team allowed 50 points or less in a conference game. Back at home inside the Beagley Center, the Penguins defeated the Norse 82-52 on January 28th. Burns recorded his 12th double-double of the season with 11 points and 11 rebounds. The Penguins had a total of 29 points off the bench compared to the Norse's 17 points. For Burns, this team as a whole is taking form as the intensity of February basketball approaches.
And I felt like this team is really becoming their own. Everybody's being comfortable in what they do and loving what they do. And as you can see, what can happen is when everybody loves to play their role and do it to an exceptional extent.
The Penguins held the Norse to just 21 points in the second half and forced 20 turnovers. The team will travel to the Nutter Center on February 1st to face off Wright State University. The televised tip-off is slated for 9 p.m. on ESPNU. The Youngstown State women's basketball team continued Horizon League conference play. Jamar sports reporter Cameron Nemi has more.
The YSU women's basketball team finished up 2 straight home games, rounding out a 3-game homestand here inside the Beagley Center. The team then hit the road for 1 game to take on IUPUI.
YSU welcomed Northern Kentucky to town on January 24th. The Norse defeated the Penguins by a final of 62-56. YSU held a lead after the first quarter, but lost control of it despite a late game comeback attempt. Interim head coach John Nicolay spoke after the game about the loss.
Yeah, it stings a little bit, for sure. But we gotta. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for us. We're gonna have to get back in and get ready to go. And
on January 27, the Penguins wrapped up its homestand as they bounced back and defeated Robert Morris University by a final of 71-46. Emily Saunders led the team with 23 points. She added 5 rebounds and 4 blocks. Malia Magistro had 20 points, 15 of which came from beyond the arc, and a team-high 4 steals. Magistro spoke about what the team did in the win, with the end of the season on the rise.
I think definitely today the point of emphasis was just getting up into them, pressuring them. Like I said, we're trying different things.
On January 31st, Youngstown State traveled to IUPUI and lost to the Jaguars by a final of 69-63. The loss moves YSU to 8-14 on the season and 4-8 in the Horizon League. To watch the game, go to ESPN Plus or view the stats at ysusports.com.
The team will return home February 3rd to take on Milwaukee. But for now, reporting for the Jambar, I'm Cameron Nemi. Back to you guys in the studio.
The Youngstown State University track and field team recently sent athletes to 4 different meets in Boston, Louisville, and Akron on January 26th and 27th. In Boston, the Gwins participated in 2 meets where athletes broke school records. At the John Thomas Terrier Classic, senior mid-distance runner Hunter Christopher broke the YSU school record in the men's 3,000-meter run. Christopher finished with a time of 7 minutes and 58.37 seconds. Christopher held the previous school record at 8 minutes and 8.41 seconds. The Penguins also participated in the UMass Lowell Riverhawk Invitational, where fifth-year jumper Jakari Lomax broke the school record in the triple jump with a leap of 15.74 meters. Lomax set the previous school record of 15.52 meters at the YSU Icebreaker meet in December 2023. Sophomore hurdler Harry Barton said athletes use the indoor track season as a way to get into the swing of things before the outdoor season starts.
As a 400 hurdler, I sort of use indoor almost as a building block towards outdoor, as there's no 400 hurdles indoors. So it gives me time to sort of work on building my speed and just getting my flat 400 and 200 times down as much as possible.
The track and field team will return to action at home on February 2nd for the YSU Mid-Major Invitational. That's all we have for sports this week. Now we'll toss things back over to Zonde Smith for our weather recap.
Start of the weekend will be mostly sunny with a 0% chance for rain. This weather will continue into the start of the week as we will see 50-degree temps and plenty of sunshine. That's all we have for JambarTV this week. Break those shades out, Gwins.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why. For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question. It's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
Support for JambarTV is provided in part by the YSU Foundation and the Jane F. Lamb Charitable Foundation. Thank you.